Okay, let's talk about something that's probably sitting in a lot of our cabinets right now, herbal remedies. We reach for them all the time, right? Especially when we're feeling stressed out. But what if I told you that one of the most popular natural products out there has a pretty big secret, one that could seriously impact your health? Yeah, let's get into it.
I mean, who isn't feeling a little stressed or anxious these days? It's just part of living in our crazy, fast-paced world. It's this shared thing we're all going through. And it makes total sense that when we're looking for some relief, a lot of us want to start with something that feels a bit more gentle, a bit more natural.
And that usually leads us straight to herbs like these. You've seen them everywhere, right? Chamomile tea to unwind, lavender to calm down, maybe some passionflower when your brain just won't shut off. You can grab them off the shelf, no prescription needed, and we generally think of them as totally safe. But, and this is a big but, that leads us to a really important question.
What if that seemingly harmless bottle of herbs could quietly, behind the scenes, make your critical prescription medication basically useless? Now, this isn't some scare tactic or a hypothetical. It's a proven, documented reality for one of the most widely used herbal products on the entire planet.
So, let's turn our spotlight onto our main subject, St. John's wort. This herb is a superstar in the wellness world. Millions of people use it, a lot of them without ever even mentioning it to their doctor. So let's unpack what makes it so popular and where its hidden secret lies.
For a long time, St. John's wort has been the go-to for people looking for a natural way to manage mild or moderate depression. It's sold over the counter, and it gives people a sense of control over their own wellness journey. But to really understand the hidden danger here, we need a super quick lesson on how your body works.
I want you to think of your liver as this amazing, highly efficient factory that's running 24/7. Anytime you take a medication, a supplement, anything, it's the liver's job to process it, break it down, and get it out of your system. And inside that factory, there's one key employee that does almost all of the work.
Meet cytochrome P453A4. Let's just call it CYPA4. It's way easier. This little guy is an enzyme, and the best way to picture it is as your liver's head janitor, the main cleanup crew. Its whole job is to metabolize or break down all these foreign things so your body can clear them out. Now, what's absolutely wild is just how busy this one little enzyme is.
Get this, over half, more than 50% of all medications on the market are processed by this one single enzyme. That's everything from cholesterol meds to birth control to antidepressants. This one cleanup crew is handling most of the traffic. And that, right there, is where we get to the critical discovery. So scientists started to notice something strange. They saw a pattern where patients who were taking St. John's wort also seemed to be having issues with their prescription drugs. So a team of researchers, led by Dr. John Markowitz, came up with a really clever study to find out what was actually going on.
The setup was just beautiful in its simplicity. First, they gave healthy volunteers a dose of a common anti-anxiety drug to see how their bodies normally handled it. That was their baseline. Then, those exact same people took a standard dose of St. John's wort every single day for 2 weeks. And finally, they gave them that same anti-anxiety drug one more time. The question was simple. Did the St. John's wort change anything?
And what they found wasn't just interesting. It was stunning. It turns out St. John's wort was basically giving that cleanup crew, that CYP3A4 enzyme, a huge shot of espresso. It put the whole system into overdrive, telling the body's processing plant to work way faster. The real-world effect of this is just wow.
Just look at this chart. It tells the whole story. Before taking St. John's wort, the medication's half-life, that's the time it takes for your body to clear out half the drug, was about 12.5 hours. Totally normal. But after just 2 weeks on St. John's wort, that half-life plummeted to only 6 hours. It was more than cut in half.
So what does that actually mean? It means the medication was being flushed out of the body twice as fast as it should have been. The drug simply wasn't sticking around long enough to do its job. For someone who relies on that medication every day, it could become completely useless, almost like they weren't taking it at all. And this problem goes way beyond just one anxiety drug. The list of medications handled by that same CYP3A4 cleanup crew is huge, and it includes some incredibly important drugs. We're talking about birth control pills, life-saving drugs for organ transplant patients, antivirals, statins for cholesterol, even heart medications. The risk that these essential medicines could fail is very real. Okay, so what in the world are we supposed to do with this information? Now, look, the point here isn't to scare you away from all herbs forever. Not at all. It's about being smart and being safe. Using herbs can be a wonderful, empowering thing when we do it with knowledge and a healthy dose of respect for how powerful these plants really are.
I mean, even in something as simple as blending your own herbal tea, there's a science to it. You often have a base herb for your main goal, a supporting herb to help it out, and an accent for flavor. And while this is a really mindful, great way to use plants, it's a completely different world from taking a concentrated extract in a capsule. And it still doesn't replace the single most critical safety step you can take.
And here it is. This is the absolute core message of this whole explainer. The word natural does not automatically mean safe. It doesn't mean harmless or no side effects. These are powerful plants. They contain complex chemicals that have real, measurable effects on our bodies. So this all comes down to one simple, non-negotiable action. You have to tell your doctor and your pharmacist about everything you are taking. I'm not just talking about prescriptions. I mean every vitamin, every supplement, every herbal powder or tea. That's the only way they can screen for dangerous interactions and keep you safe. They need the full picture.
So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you open your wellness cabinet, take a good look. Do you really know what every single one of those bottles does? And maybe more importantly, does your doctor? It's a question that's absolutely worth asking. Thanks for tuning in.